And Nancy Pelosi has a little problem because her husband sold their Visa stock. They had a lot of Visa stock one day before Visa was announced that Visa is being sued by the Department of Justice. Think of that. Nancy Pelosi sold vast amounts of Visa stock one day before the big lawsuit that we all read about a few days ago was brought against Visa. You think it was luck? I don't think. She should be prosecuted.
What's that you say, DOJ? You're going to go after Visa? They're a monopoly? Hold on just 1 minute. Lovey, dump those Visa bags right now. Donald Trump is not happy that Nancy Pelosi had the insight, the foresight, being the GOAT of Wall Street that she is, truly the greatest of all time. Somehow she knew to lock in profits on Visa right before the DOJ initiated a lawsuit accusing them of being a monopoly. Trump wants Nancy Pelosi prosecuted over husband Paul's Visa stock sale before the DOJ lawsuit. You think it was luck? I don't think so, says Donald Trump. But here's the bottom line for you and me. The bottom line is if Nancy doesn't want Visa, then neither do we. There's still an opportunity to short Visa. I'm going to take you guys into that chart. We're going to go over why I'm still bearish on Visa and see that they could continue to come down, giving us an opportunity to make more money on shorting them in the long run. But today, the markets still climbed. Yesterday's video is titled Melt Up because both the SPY and Bitcoin are steadily melting up and getting higher and higher. But there is a sheer lack of enthusiasm amongst the bulls. There's a sheer lack of momentum amongst the bulls. And why is that? Well, we got the data we were hoping for. Thursday, we were waiting on a good GDP. We got 3%. Excellent. Shows an economy that's actually maintaining strength. And then today, we were waiting on the PCE telling us whether or not inflation remained in check. And it has remained in check. Matter of fact, we got one of the best reads that we've gotten since 2021. And so inflation is doing great. But just like I said in yesterday's video, when we didn't really jump as hard as I thought we might on the GDP, I reminded you guys that when the Fed pivots, he changes his focus from inflation to unemployment or to wages. And within that PCE data and the data we got this morning, we got some interesting data on income and spending. Personal income was half of the expectation, and it was the lowest read since October of 2023. Personal spending was also below estimates, even though the PCE was in line. So we've got a Fed that's pivoted, and so do we. The new data that's going to drive the markets higher is going to be higher wages, lower unemployment, while inflation remains in check. And today, the data didn't 100% support that narrative. The market's still largely looking at things as a soft landing. Why would I say that? Why do I think the markets are still interpreting this moment as a soft landing? Because we're not seeing the roll off the cliff, cataclysmic selling that we would have seen if the market truly didn't like what the Fed was doing. And so the markets are continuing to melt up, but we are getting to a place where things are frothy. So there's a handful of stocks that I think are showing early signs of weakness that I actually am taking some puts on. One of them is Visa. I'm going to share another one with you guys, as well as some stocks that I'm buying some calls on. Now, you don't have to buy the options. You could buy the stock themselves. Both are an opportunity. I'm going to go into the technicals. We're going to talk about Bitcoin as well, because Bitcoin has absolutely just been climbing higher and higher. You don't even need to track your individual coins. All you got to do is pop open your crypto portfolio, and it's looking rosy, absolutely beautiful. But I'm going to take you into the Bitcoin chart, and I'm going to let you know what I'm watching for there, because I have been trimming, I've been selling, I've been cashing up. And you say, Josh, if things are going so well for Bitcoin and your crypto portfolio, why are you selling? Well, it's the old saying, you want to be cautious when others are greedy. And I'm starting to sense the feeling of greed right now. And you got to remember that I was very strong about telling you guys that when we dipped beneath 54K, it was time to buy. And I also told you the story that when we got down beneath 54K and we were in that 53K area, and I almost didn't buy. Like I started to go to buy my favorite altcoins and my favorite projects. And I thought, ooh, maybe I should wait. And why did I feel that way? Because a feeling of fear came over me. But as soon as I felt it, I went, that's the confirmation to buy. Well, right now, there's a feeling of greed afoot. People are really getting excited about how high Bitcoin and the altcoins have come up. And so I would say that at this moment, we need to move towards caution. I'm going to let you know in the Bitcoin chart what I see there and what could happen over the course of this weekend. This is the Stocks with Josh show. Thank you for hitting the like. Thank you for dropping a heart and just saying hi in the comment. Always be careful. I'm never going to ask you for money or give you a special trading offer that involves you sending money or crypto anywhere, but you can engage me in the Stocks with Josh Discord. Now, this morning we had a beautiful live trading session in the Stocks with Josh Discord. I alerted in my pre-market overview 2 stocks, actually 3 that I was going to be watching for the day. PDD and Tesla. And I said both of these are looking strong, and I think they're going to continue to rise today. And PDD, we jumped into some call options out of the open. We got a 95 to 110% winner live trading PDD this morning. After that, we took a little piece, 35 to 40% piece of the SPY going up. Guys, if you don't have a trade plan, if you're trying to learn how to invest on Wall Street and you don't have that inside Nancy connection, you don't have that crystal ball, well, you're going to have to work it out just like the rest of us and learn how to chart and trade in a community. You can come do that over at the Stocks with Josh Discord. I'll leave a link in the top pinned comment. Hit that like and subscribe. Also, if you want to meet me, I'm going to be in Maryville, Indiana, outside of the Chicagoland area, attending and speaking at the Money and Music event that's being hosted by Stock Up with Larry Jones. Chris Sain is also a guest speaker of that event. I'm looking forward to it. I know that Larry's got a great event planned with incredible music, and I'm coming there to pour in and talk to you about how to expedite your trading journey by learning the charts. That's going to be my subject. Make sure you check it out. Okay, let's get into some charts right now, and I'm going to let you know what it is I'm actively watching for setups and trades come this Monday. Let's go look into that. Okay, we took PDD higher today, and it's obviously on a huge run. We had a buy signal on the MACD, this crossover, but we're coming up against a area of momentum resistance, okay? And so I'm expecting that to potentially hit. Now, if we hit at this point, which there's a gap here, we haven't hit it yet. If we hit and get rejected, then I'm expecting this price that is quickly ramped up to quickly fall. So I'm looking for a rejection of momentum here, and I'm looking for a rejection of price here. But let me be very clear. I want you guys to know that it's only when my idea gets technically confirmed in that chart, which would be a rejection candle at those 2 points that I gave you. It's only then that I would enter into a risk-on position shorting PDD. At the moment, it's showing strength, but I'm going to be watching for a turn towards weakness. Okay, Microsoft. I pointed this out to you guys a while ago that we've got a head and shoulders pattern. We're seeing a cluster of rejection candles here. We're at a very important price point of 427. If we break beneath 427, I'm going to be looking to go short on Microsoft all the way back to 401. We also are seeing the MACD roll over, and we could potentially begin to get a series of red candles as this begins to go to the downside. But at the moment, we're not there yet. We don't have confirmation, but I'm watching Microsoft. I showed you that head and shoulders pattern before. I showed you the top. That did prove to be the local top of Microsoft at this moment. Now we're waiting for confirmation, that move and opening and closing a candle beneath 427 to short Microsoft. Okay, let's go look at another chart. All right, you're looking at Boeing, ticker BA, and oddly, I'm a little bullish on it. Why? If you go down to the MACD, we've got a little bit of a crossover going here. This is a buy signal on the MACD. We've come to a low. I'm looking for this price to possibly return to the 160 to 172 area. We have an inverted head and shoulders pattern here. Possibly we could play out just like this. Once we get confirmation, I'm looking initially for a move above 157, but I think that Boeing could be oversold and we could be favoring a move higher to retest some moving averages before we go lower. But at the moment, I think they've worked through some things. We know that they're in the middle of negotiations, and if that gets resolved, we're going to see some early buying. We're going to see Boeing begin to creep back up, and we could see this go up $10, $20. I'm going to try to catch a piece of it on Boeing. Okay, let's talk about Tesla. You guys, I told you yesterday, I said, don't give up on Tesla. Don't let Tesla scare you. This thing is climbing. I called it out this morning, and it ripped all throughout the day. Despite the fact that a lot of other stocks were not performing well, Tesla is going against the trend and climbing higher. Let's go look at that chart. We could have a major change of character if we begin to open and close some candles above this historic line of resistance. The MACD is still strong. It's in the hands of the bulls, and it's pointing up on the daily time frame as we go into the weekend. So I'm remaining bullish on Tesla. Now, my hot play that I gave in yesterday's video that I got a ton of laughs at, which was Walgreens WBA. I said I had to redeem this trade because I had bought some. I was DCAing into a dog, and all it did over the last couple of months is go lower. So I was looking for a way to redeem it, and I called out yesterday. There was some technical signs of life. Entered into some calls today. Those went up 50%. And so, guys, we follow the charts. I wouldn't have alerted it. I wouldn't have talked about it if the charts weren't telling me that there could be the potential of a move back up to around $12 or $13. That move is still active. I'm still holding those WBA calls, and I'll keep you guys informed as to what happens next. But at the moment, I'm in profit and holding, and I might even begin to scale my position if we continue to climb. Okay, the last thing I want to cover today is Bitcoin going into a crypto weekend. I often trade crypto more on the weekend when the market's closed. Let's go take a peek at the Bitcoin chart and what we need to see there by the end of this week, which is Sunday at midnight. All right, just to keep the analysis very simple, we know that we also have a historic line of resistance on Bitcoin, and we're getting extremely close to touching it. And so it wouldn't at all shock me if we make a move up and do hit this line. That would be a move all the way up to around that $68,000 mark. Now, I would be shocked if it pushed right through 68,000. I think that we are going to spend some time potentially compressing beneath 68,000 before we get a move higher. And in particular, we don't know whether it's going straight up to 68 this weekend or whether it will consolidate before making that final push up. But ultimately, whether we get it this weekend or whether we consolidate, I believe that if we get back to 64K, we're going to want to see this level hold. This is sort of the line in the sand. If we open and close a candle beneath 64K, we go on caution and high alert because it means we can come all the way back to our ascending line of support down here. But at the moment, right now, we are bouncing between 64 and 68. But this is also an area where I am taking some profit. And the bottom line is this is not a suggestion for what you should do with your money. I'm simply sharing with you what it is I'm doing with my crypto and my money. And if you recall, I shared with you that I was going to go in heavy with 6 figures under 54K. Now it's time to begin to take some of that money off the table. Could we potentially break above 68K and just everybody gets into a lockout on crypto as it screams higher? Yes, but we've already come up quite a bit, and I'm going to sell into some of the greed right now. That's just simply what I'm doing. Let me know in the comments section if you think it's time to double down right now or whether you're taking profits as well. I think 64 is going to be the line in the sand to watch. All right, guys, that wraps it up for me today. Hit the like and subscribe to get the next video. And remember, come and join me in Maryville, Indiana for an in-person meeting. I appreciate each and every one of you. I will be giving out new and fresh 3K to 10K trade alerts this next week. We're going to continuously build that small account up. We've had a number of beautiful wins, and we're going to do it again. Thank you guys for joining me. Peace and blessings. Take care. Bye-bye.